Hi, everyone. Welcome to Chair Yoga and Meditation. We're going to begin with our transitional time as usual. So I'm going to ask you to get forward on your chair a little bit, get the block so you can use it between your legs. I like the ritual of that. Your mind and body start making the connection right away. What's going on? The ritual is all part of it. And start to be really aware of how you're holding yourself, and what if you just got here, you just sat down. So then you may need to move around a little bit, make sure you're comfortable, and you're doing all those things. It's the beauty of having this Zoom environment. You're creating your own space. You move when you want to move. You can take it, you know step away when you need to. All that's just kind of the beauty of this particular way of doing yoga this day and age. So get yourself in that position where you've done all the things, you've got your stuff ready that you need to, you've done all the things, and then you can come into the place where you're more and more aware of how you're holding yourself upright, pushing your feet to the ground so you can feel how that allows you to sit up taller and a little with more intention. Using that image of the wall behind you, trying to back yourself into that so your shoulders are back into the wall, the back of your head comes back. Remember, we're not lifting the head, so you're keeping your jawline parallel to the floor. These are subtle adjustments, but they make a big difference in terms of your feeling of good posture and aligning your joints properly so you'll function well. Take a few deep breaths so you're more aware of the breathing. You're just utilizing that technique of a deeper breath so that you can get your mind around it. You can let the mind find your breath. Connecting to a deeper breath is a good way to do that. And I want you to count your breath. I want you to find out how long it takes you to do an inhale, just the way you would a normal but full inhale. And then the count, you'll start to count out your exhale. So for now, just find out, just information gathering. Inhale, how long does it take me to do that? How long is my exhale? Again, these are all techniques and ways in which we connect mind and body by way of the breath. Stay with the counting, literally doing the counting. Don't get bored with it. Just allow yourself this as a technique, measuring your breath, so to speak. Now I want you to consciously lengthen the exhale. I want you to consciously create a longer exhalation. And maybe now the counting can start to fade away, and you're feeling your way into that. I like to use alternating between inhaling with my nostrils and exhaling through the mouth, like just a soft blowing it out, like blowing out a candle kind of position of my mouth. Just a suggestion, doesn't have to be done that way. Long exhale. Now let's assume the breath now has found its way. You've established this breathing, this pattern of breathing. It's kind of the new normal. So you can let it be. So there's a more subtle background awareness, not the primary focus. It's a background awareness of the breath. So we're going to bring our hands into the mudra. This mudra, though, today is bringing your pinky fingers together, bringing your thumbs together, creating sort of a vessel. It's called the lotus mudra. So fingers are spread apart, and then you bring that right into the heart space. So you're letting your thumbs and that side of your hands just coming right into the chest bone, opening up into a vessel, or this, what they call this lotus. And eyes are closed now. As you just imagine what it is you're filling up, open to receive into this vessel of the heart. Trust, acceptance, kindness, recognizing beauty, love, of course, always love. So just finding your way into that experience of connecting to your heart by way of this lotus mudra, and to tenderize yourself. So in case you came into this practice today with some sharp edges around your experience, that you can start to tenderize and soften some of those edges. Relaxing your shoulders so they're not crowding up around your ears. You're just aware that you can hold yourself in good posture, and yet there's a relaxation about it. There's this balance between ease and effort. And keeping your eyes closed, just bring your hands into the prayer position. It's easily accessed here. Now all of a sudden the hands have come together in the prayer position at the heart. Let's begin now. As we inhale together, palms will be up, eyes can open. Exhale back to the bowing at the heart. Inhale up and exhale all the way down and around. While I make my way to the chair, I want you to do that backstroke a few times. Inhale is up. Exhale is bringing your arms down and around. All right. Okay, let's find our way to standing now. Just make your way up. Maybe you're going to move the chair a little bit so you've got some room. Of course, if you know there's a need for a chair and you would like to have it within hand's reach, obviously you'll make it put it in the place that works best for you. A little wider than hips distance apart. I want you to just start by moving your hips. So the knees have to bend for that, but the hips are just moving side to side like my arms are showing you. So you're just trying to exaggerate that movement. And then just notice where there's any kind of pushback. If it's the low back is saying, oh, okay, now we're moving and stretching through that low back. Maybe it's easily accessed, nothing about it really seems any kind of work. Just take that all in. Remember, we want a softness of the knees, so your knees stay happy with this. There's a little bend, of course, and it's just natural. Now, let's see if we can do a hula hoop. I'm keeping my hands at the waist on purpose so that there's more emphasis of the movement of the pelvis, not the whole upper body, but you're trying to do a hula hoop with your pelvis circling. So imagining that circular motion, like you're tracing a circle around with your pelvic bowl. Figure out what your breath is doing, what your breath might need. And we're going to change the direction of the movement. Notice the breath. Exaggerating the movement of the hula hoop so you're really loosening up through that pelvic area. Excellent. Legs stay the same. We've got that hip distance apart. Let's do some side bends. So arms straight up, kind of right near your head, near your ear. That's the way it's going to stay as we glide our other hand down our pant leg, like alongside the seam of your pants there. That's kind of the idea. And let's just sort of come and go with that. So we stretch into it. We're breathing, and you don't have to keep up with me. You're just finding your own way into introducing this to your body kind of with a little more compassion. You're not forcing anything. You're just going to see if you can ease your way in Notice your breath. We're going to try that bend with a hold now, bending over to the side, and see if you can release your hand from your pant leg, and instead imagine you've got like a sandbag on that hand and arm, really deepening this for you, like it's just heavy, 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 pulling you toward the ground with that heavy hand, heavy arm. A micro bend in the knee would be appropriate, so don't lock your knees here. Let's try one more deep breath in the holding of the stretch. Good job, everyone. And then lift up. Palms will come together. Look up. Exhale, bow at the heart. Up. All the way down and around. We'll do the same thing on this side. So it starts with just a straight arm up. I've got a mitten hand on, as you might have guessed. And for now, we're sliding down the pant leg. A little bend of the knee. Maybe there's a lot. Maybe for you, you bend the knee quite a bit. It's all good. You can trust your body. You can trust the guidance you're getting. I think holding the arm straight for me, it's just been something I've kind of adapted lately where I'm more intentional about that. I don't know, I like it. I just like the additional stretch, the additional maybe discipline of it. And then we come to the place where we're going to hold it and we're going to get a heavy arm. So I take it away from your leg and heavy it up, just using your imagination now that there's just this heaviness and you can feel gravity's pull even more so than ever. Deepen the breath. Make sure you're holding your head in a way that feels good. If you're holding your head with just any amount of mindfulness, I think you have a pretty good chance that you're going to be just fine and dandy. It's not going to be a problem at all because you inserted that mindfulness component. Your body will just know exactly what to do. Finish the breath you're on. We're going to use both arms, kind of come back up. Inhale, palms together. Exhale. As I'm coming into this heart opening, I'm also giving myself a little bend of the knee. So it's just inhaling up, a little bit of a squat, but it's opening the heart. Inhale, exhale, open the heart. And that's the coaching, is saying that to yourself. Open my heart. Opening the heart. A little twist now. We're going to just bring our hands to our waist and then just do some turning of the trunk of the body. Got to have a bend in the knee. And if you find your heel has to lift up, there's some movement of your foot that really seems to be natural for you, just follow that lead. Absolutely. Now that's kind of loosening us up. Let's see about an extended arm. So I'm going to turn. You want your foot to go with you. So that foot has changed its position, extending the arms at a T position now. Inhale back up. Notice I'm moving my foot. This is a pace that you can work with. Finding your breath. Inhale and exhale. You can do a vinyasa here pretty easily. Connecting breath to movement. One more on each side. We're just finishing up here. Good. And let's take a little wider stance. Heels in, toes out, and kind of windmill yourself down. I don't know why I said windmill, but we're just going to bring hand to meet opposite foot. Straight legs. You can do straight legs with this. Don't have to, but it's certainly something you could encourage for a greater stretch of your hamstrings and your calves. Can be a touch. I can bring my palm down. I notice, and I can fold deep enough that my palm can come all the way down on both sides. You can just play with that and see what you can do. So it's all the way down, back up. Nice consistency with the breath. Now, the next time you're folding down, doesn't matter which side you landed on, bring both arms over to that, both hands, pull yourself into that straight leg. Pull your face down into that leg. It's a deep fold, one side. Now soften the knees quite a bit. Let your arms carry you back up and go the other way. So both hands have come over to this side and you're using your leg and your foot maybe to pull yourself in toward that leg, bringing your face towards your leg. Eyes stay open. That'll help you keep your bearings. Big stretch. Beautiful. Now, I want you to pop yourself up so you can see what's next. So take a moment to lift up so you can look at the screen. We're going to bring our block to the space between our legs. So we are here with both hands on the high side of your block. So I'll give you a minute here to get set up. Once you're set up, keep just your left hand on that and let your right hand come back to the sacrum. So you're just going to put your hand onto the sacrum and turning your head so it feels like your left ear is listening in to the block in the hand. Now, if you want to, you could extend that arm up, but you don't have to. The hand can stay back on the sacrum and it's still a beautiful twist. Very effective. But if you want to get a little more expressive, you could lift that arm up. Soften the knees as you bring both hands back to the block. Switch hands now. You'll know, just switch hands. You want to put that other hand now back onto the sacrum, pulling that shoulder back, turning your head on purpose so your ear is facing the hand on the block. You could, again, maybe this side says, I think I'm going to stay right here. A little different could be different on one side. Or if it's still accessible, lift up. Finish the breath you're on and come down so both hands have a hold of the block. Soften the knees so you can come on up. And when we do, we've got the block with us. Position your feet a distance apart that feels right to you because we're going to be moving that block around, starting low where the block is kind of circling around our hips. But then we're going to start moving it a little higher. Stop where you are and then change the direction of this handoff. So starting at the higher level, and this time we start working our way down. So we're moving toward the hip area with that move, that handoff of the block, and there's a swaying side to side. Beautiful. Let's bring that block out front. You've got it just between your hands and we can just drop it behind the head. Don't duck your head. Try to squeeze your elbows in towards center as much as you're able. The trick for me is I'm holding it practically with my fingertips. If I really hold it here, it's pretty hard to get those elbows in. But if I just pretty much have it with my fingertips, then I have a better chance of keeping those elbows drawn in. Remember, no ducking. So you'll just move the block accordingly. All right, lift it up and hold it and try that side bend again. Now arms are parallel to each other. And I want you to switch from side to side. Let's get a soft bend in the knee. Notice your breathing. Last time, coming up and around and any movement your body might need. We're going to come back to standing again. So we're going to finish up for our balance pose and that kind of thing toward the end of our practice. So let's meet in the chair now. Block is between the legs. Back here we are again. Catch up with your breath. Take a moment to make sure you feel situated properly. Your chair is back where you want it to be, and you're catching up with your breath. Let's add some shoulder rolls. Keeping your elbows drawn in towards your sides. Get some action in your belly wall, so you're consciously aware that you're holding and using your abdominal strength. We're going to change the direction of those shoulder rolls, making sure we feel the loosening up of the shoulder blades. Beautiful. Now let's lift both arms up. I've got palms facing forward. And when we come down, we're going to flip the hands so we can make a fist, and all of a sudden our palms are facing up. So we lift up, palms facing forward, and then into the fist. So it's that bicep curl, just kind of a little more specificity about the way we're approaching it. How's our hands going to come into that fist where we're particular about it? We're just particular about that. Let's add a little more to it, a little more complexity. So we come into that fisted bicep curl, and now, again, the hands release from the fist and our arms drop down. Inhaling up, exhale, there's that fisted bicep curl, and down alongside the frame of the chair. Just finding the breath as it is, just noticing, maybe there's a little change in it for you, just feels like a better pattern for you than maybe what I might call out. So trust that you can establish this breath, and you're just noticing it. This one's good. We're going to stay with it just a little bit longer. It's so good for so many of your joints. Our hands, wrists, all of that. Oops, I kind of goofed up. That's what I get for talking. And then the shoulders and the elbows. Let's come back and meet in that fisted bicep curl. Just meet right there, wherever you are. We'll meet here. And then push that out. So you've got very flexed wrists, hands are spread apart, fingers are spread apart, and you're stretching through the palm. Keep pushing out, squeeze the block, press your feet to the floor like you're trying to make an imprint on your floor. You want your toes to be found on the floor and as an imprint. We'll flip the hands so palms face up, thumbs back. Inhale up, palms together. Exhale, bow. Up, all the way down and around. Let's move into our cow and cat now. So we're going to bring the arms back, gliding alongside the chair. You might even try just something different, maybe, is keep contact with your chair, that your hands, as they pull back, are making contact with the chair itself. So you've got a lot of guideline there, a real guide that's making contact there with your hands as far back into the chair as you can do. And feeling the arch of your body, the arch of your back. Head is still neutral, so the jawline is parallel to the floor. Breathing both in and out to shape this. Hands land at your knees, straight arms, so your shoulders will stay right above your hips, so straight arms. Now tuck the tail, start with tuck, 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 tuck. Low back, so your curve of the low back has gone away, and you're rounding, and we're squeezing the block and using the Mula Bandha to strengthen the perineum. So even though we're breathing both in and out, remember, as best as you can on the exhale, you're going to use this as an opportunity to strengthen the pelvic floor by squeezing the block and utilizing that strength of the Mula Bandha. All right, when we do this as our vinyasa, you might need to slow it way down. so that you've got plenty of time to work the perineum on your exhale. So you don't need to try to match up with me at all. Connecting breath to movement. So the ways we fine-tune this for ourselves in chair yoga is to keep the hands on the lap like that, straight arms, no bend in the elbow, so that you don't fold forward. You're keeping your shoulders right above your hips. That's ideal. That's just the ideal way to kind of get the best out of this movement. Full breath in, followed by a really long exhale so you can get the work done. Do 2 more of this, 2 more. I think I did 3. Okay, let's lose the block. And do some strong arms and strong legs. So lifting up, inhaling up here, and exhaling as you kick the legs straight out. Keep those arms as close to the head as you can when you're lifting up. Inhale is up, exhale is the kick. Next time you've got your right leg up in the air, let's hold it there. Get a hold of your leg and lift it straight on up. A straight leg is lifting up as much as you're able. Hold on to that leg any old which way, any way you want to maintain the straightness of that leg and the lift as high up as you can do. Let's even spread the toes. Put the foot that's on the floor, really push it down so that you feel like you've got a real good foundation there. We're going to bend that knee so we can sort of come into our figure 4 position and massage that out through the knee, through wherever it is. Don't exclude your foot in your massaging. And then make sure the foot on the leg, that is your standing leg, is well positioned. Let's hold on to the shin. Elbows are in, and we're just holding on with our hands to the shin as we rock forward and back. Again, you can connect movement with breathing. Inhaling, exhaling. And it's a rocking. I want you to, can you imagine this, kind of tune in, that's a better way, the tuning in to the sit bones, the boniness of the pelvic structure there, rocking on those sit bones forward and back. Come back to neutral now and go back to that straight leg. Just like we started, straight leg right in front. Use the frame of the chair to help you know where to put that leg. It's straight out. You're framed up by the chair. Hug the knee into the chest. And let's return that foot to the floor. Second side, we're going to start with the straight leg. Spread the toes. Deepen the breath. Hold on to your leg and foot any way you want, any way you can. Stretch, spread the toes. And then when we bend the knee, we can place our foot into a figure 4 position now, drawing our heel toward the crease there. And we massage, of course, we always do that. So we are a little more welcome. It's a little more compassionate approach. And you get to know, you get to know your joints a little better that way. You're aware of how they're doing today. Remember that foot on the floor, that matters. That leg has got to be well positioned. Knee right over the ankle, that's important. Hold on to your shin, elbows in, holding on to your shin with your hands. We're rocking on the pelvis. Trying to keep your head very neutral. I know your head wants to do this work for you and stretch it out. But let the chest bring your trunk of your body forward and back. Spreading the toes on this foot is very useful. It's very protective for your knee joint when you've activated the leg like that. Spreading the toes will do that. Couple more. And come back to neutral. Let's straighten that leg again. So it's just up in the air, holding it anyway. Straight leg up. Don't lean back. I didn't mention that earlier. Don't lean back into the backrest. Try to keep yourself upright. And we're going to hug that knee into the chest and put both feet to the floor. As we try a wide angle now, we can do a forward fold. So once you get your heels are in, your toes are out, your legs are open, let's take a fold down right in between your legs. So your shoulders have dropped in between your thighs. Eyes are open, you're looking down and under your chair. See if you can wrap your arms around your legs some way. I'm wrapping my arms around on the outside ankle, the lateral ankle bone. I've got my hands over there. I've wrapped my arms around that way. But just play with it. Just think to how you can fit yourself into this space a little differently. Deepen the breath. We want to do a couple deep belly breaths. Maybe you've already started that. Good for you. Now, do you see your block? My block is right under my chair, so I'm getting a hold of it. And when I bring it out, it's going to lift me up halfway flat back. So I've got both hands on the block, flat back. So I can just feel like I can lift myself right up off the chair. My body weight is entirely into my legs. So very strong legs. Now I'm kind of thinking for myself that my feet are too far out, just doesn't feel as strong. So if you're finding that to be true, I hope you're making your adjustments. So you've got this position just right. We did the standing. Let's see about sitting now. So we're going to put one hand on the block. I got it on its high side. That doesn't mean you have to. Maybe you're going to do it with a lower version. So one hand on the block, and the other hand is coming to the sacrum. As you turn your head, your ear is facing the block, just like we did when we were standing. And again, you can hold it right here. This is a beautiful twist. Or you can extend that arm up. That back arm could go up. If you do that, I'm going to just say you might need to move your block so that it's positioned better to give you a better lift. Finish the breath you're on, and then come on down so both hands are on the block. Let's take a reset. Let's just take a reset. Come in and move your body around. Remember that hand on the block, where you positioned it. You might find you need to make an adjustment. Don't wait for my cue because I might be too late or I might not think of it. So be sure to move it if you find that, I could be better served with it positioned. So here we go, side two. Other hand now, just changing sides, side two. Other hand stays on the block. Sorry, when you bring your hand, the other hand back to the sacrum. Now we're turning our head, shoulders a bit. There's a little twisting action in the trunk of the body. Keep your feet down. Don't let your knees cave in towards center. We're purposeful about that. And then you can decide if you want to just hold this or you want that back arm to go up. Now I'm just going to give you my tutorial. You can do it but I've got one elbow, the elbow that, the hand that's on the block. I'm using my elbow to push into that inner thigh. And that's just really giving me some stability here, some ability to get a better twist. Pay attention to how your neck feels. It's all about the way you're holding your head, where your ears are facing. Okay, let's come out. Both hands are back on the block. We're in a half lift. So you're lifting your chest so you can lift your face and look out. Now let's one arm at a time, reach out. Push into your legs like crazy. Push, push, push. All the way up, wait. Good, let's take our cross, just got a hold of my elbows. And now we're going to do that circling around and let those arms extend out. You're kind of keeping them at on a single plane here. The arms, forearms, and the way you're moving your shoulders kind of stays in a unison there. And then change the direction of that. Beautiful. Let's come back to neutral and reset the body. I'm going to tuck that block underneath the chair so it's kind of out of my way. Reset the body. I need a little break here. All right. Holding on to the chair, let's step a foot over and switch every time. Switch every time. Keep yourself real upright. Don't lean into your backrest. You definitely want to be on the front edge of your chair. And it's as high a jump as you can do today. You're just trying to really lift that foot up and make that leg work to come over to one side and then the other. Bring both your legs together. Doesn't matter which side. So you've landed with both legs together. Draw your feet close to the chair's leg. Keep your shoulders square. You're still facing forward. Your legs have gone off into an angle. You're going to let your upper body twist away from the way your knees are going. Your knees are going one way. Upper body goes the other way for this twist. Keep your legs drawing together. I use my hand for that almost always, holding on to make sure my thighs can squeeze together. And I don't mind that I have to help it a bit. Verticality of your spine. So try not to lean. That takes some doing. Try balancing in your pelvis left to right. That might give you some good information about how you're holding yourself. And maybe then you can find the verticality of your spine. Stay here just a little bit longer than you usually do, working it out, listening to your body. That back shoulder, particularly back shoulder blade. Give your awareness to that back shoulder blade. Deepen the breath. Because, if you've got a little green light showing up, you don't want to miss it. You want to be that kind of alert in your practice that you're coming into a twist and then there's this green light shows up and you could deepen it. Keep yourself in your twist, take your head out of it. Sweep your arms to come up and out of that. And then we're going to go back to our stepping. So remember which side you did, because we got to meet on the other side. Legs going the other direction now. Meet up. Get your feet close to the chair leg. Take your arms to the other side. Holding body parts, holding part of the chair, however you do it. Spine is long. Don't look down at the floor. Try to lift yourself up. Squeezing legs. Back shoulder blade again. Eventually, once you get situated, has your full awareness. As you breathe and hold into this twist, you're really noticing, what does that back shoulder blade need from me? You want a verticality of the spine, so balance in your pelvis. Make sure you feel your body weight is divided between your butt cheeks kind of evenly. Keep your body in the twist. We'll turn the head out of it. And we'll bring both shoulders around and both legs now back into that open position. Let's circle around. I like this. You could do it with your hands on your lap if that's your preference. Change the direction of your movement. Good. Let's get a hold of our block. It goes between our legs. It's going to help us come back to standing. So lift it up. Let's just do a couple of those where we're just lifting up. And then we lift up and our bottom also comes up. So we're going to do a couple of those, lifting feet up, bottom up. And we'll meet standing up with the block between the legs. Square your feet around so they're even, balanced, body weight. Let's get strong with the belly wall. Shoulders are back and down. Take just a moment, close your eyes. Find a full body feeling of your breathing now. Full body expression of breath. One more full breath. Keep the block or use the block, your choice. I'm going to choose to lose it. Inhaling up, exhaling those fists and down. We did this before. Up, bicep curl, down, up, curl. Good job, everybody. Okay, let's position the chair real quick. You want to have the back of the chair facing you so you can do an L-shaped stretch. So let's get hands on that chair. Remember, the distance you have between your hands and the distance between your feet should match up. Rely on the strength of your body, not that chair. The chair is there. It kind of gives you some steadiness, nice support, but it's not what's holding you up, not that chair. It's your legs. It's the strength of your body. Try to press into the big toe ball mons. So the ball of the foot on the big toe area. You're making more of a imprint with that. Deepen the breath. Draw your chin in towards your throat a bit and stretch through the buttocks. Let's start walking toward the chair. So we kind of got the chair in a real good spot because we can use it now to support some movement. So the chair's there for support if you need it. The moving leg, where it's almost always, the one that's away from the chair, this time it's here. So the moving leg is the one that's right by the chair. I want you to just turn your foot, lifting up your foot so that you can touch the inner ankle. Got that one? And then you're going to do the back. So just find a little pattern. Maybe you're going to do 3 of each. And maybe after a bit, you think, I wonder if I could do this without using the chair. So this is a balance. It's a balance challenge. But it also creates a really great range of movement in our hip. All right, let's get both feet to the floor, and we've got our hand on the chair. Let's take a high knee with that leg and bring it across the back side. This is that curtsy kind of a position. So high knee, same leg that we were working with, and we step it back. Big high knee, step it back. Now, when we step it back, you can either leave just the toes and ball of the foot down, or you can drop the heel and accommodate yourself however that fits best. And then that's it. Maybe you got a hand on the chair and one arm reaches up. Beautiful pose. You've got the security of the chair. If you want to have more of a balance challenge, the other arm is up. That palm, the same side as your back leg, that palm reaches to the ceiling. We grab that wrist with our other hand. And so that's kind of the shape of this one. This is one version of it. Hand on the chair is just a different version. Deepen the breath. Steady the breath. And then to start to unwind from all that, we're going to need to relocate our chair. The moving leg is near the chair, and we're going to find that lift, and it's kind of at an angle, and that's the purpose of it. You're trying to touch the inside. You're kind of angling into your knee. You could do it any pattern you want. And you don't have to touch the chair, but you get to. You get to if that's what's going to help you steady yourself here. Notice your breath. All right, both feet to the floor, hand on the chair, high knee, and step back. High knee and back. Big breath in and out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Let's set it up. Inhale, and back we are, either just the toes and the ball of the foot, but the heel stays up, or you drop that heel. So the hand that's touching the chair is the one you could bring the palm up and then grab your wrist. But remember, this is fine too. Hand on the chair, this arm lifts up. Both are good. Deepen that breath. Feel your feet. Where you're looking is going to make a difference. So follow the lead of where you're holding your head, where your gaze is to steady you. Excellent job, everybody. Let's come on down. Get your hands on the chair, hand on the chair. Feet come back to neutral. I want you to, let's get kind of shake that out. Maybe you jump it out even. I like the wave. I've been doing it a lot, but I really like it. So lifting up and dropping down. Big inhale, big exhale. This wave of the body. And one more L-shaped stretch. So one more. This is extended forward fold. Stretch that out. Pull the belly in. Chin tucks in towards your throat. Back of the head is in line with the spine. Feel the big toe ball on making an imprint. Deepen the breath. And again. And let's start walking toward the chair. All right, let's set up now for our final relaxation. Briefly, if there's still a stretch you didn't do and you wish you would have, or you wish we would have done it, this is a great time for that. The segue in between our movement and coming into relaxation time is a great time, time for you to insert what you need. You know, some pose you didn't do or something needs to be worked out of your body. I trust that you're really following that information that your body's given you. Give yourself that kind of movement. Just invite that. Now, once you're settled in, you know we're using the full support of the chair. So you want to be well into the backrest. Get your legs, hips, and buttocks well supported by the seat of your chair. And then create, even if you're home alone and you've got the space to yourself, still, let's just drill down even more so that we're aware of the space that we occupy, the very space that our body is being held in. And that you're breathing in from that space and out again into it. So take your time with it. Make sure you've caught up with your breath. You've relaxed through the body, no longer trying to hold yourself at attention, you know, very strong and upright, but a little less awareness of that and a little more awareness of softening and the deepening of the breath. Now, just briefly, take a moment for the Durga breath. That's the 3-part breath. We won't do it long. but it's an inhale, more inhale. Final inhale is right up by your chest, the very top of your chest. And then exhale that out through your mouth as blowing out. 3-part full inhalation, maybe a little pause. Exhale that out completely through the mouth. Listen for it now. Listen. One more of those. And then let your breath return now to a breath that feels normal, easy, and calming to you. And that your only goal is to be aware of the breathing. Aware of your breathing. And with that, kind of comes right alongside, is this awareness of a general softening of the body. I want you to bring the awareness to whatever surface is holding you up. So if you're in a chair, you've got the surface below you in your seat, and you've got the backrest. Or maybe you've laid down. So I'm just saying the surface that's beneath you, kind of soften into it more. You're like melting into that surface of support, allowing it to hold you more and more, releasing your instinct to, put up a guard. Instead, you're just relying and allowing the support that's beneath you to hold you, to carry you. As you breathe all the way in and all the way out. So our only directive to the breath is full. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. So it's a full breath. In and then out. And that's a, easily accessed mantra. In and out. Breathing all the way in and then breathing all the way out. Allowing your body to be held by the surface beneath you. Softening into that support. Allowing it to support you. Trusting that it is. There's something about a yoga practice, I think, that really helps us to develop a trust that we can relate to, we can believe in. This space around you is for you. Here you are, occupying it, breathing in from that space and out again into it. So clearly, it's for you. Can you let that be? Can you imagine that that is true? Feeling your whole back body relaxing into that support. Your whole back body relaxing and tenderizing into that support. And whether you realize it or not, maybe that's the point of my mentioning, is so that you do realize how much lung capacity you have created from your practice today. Noticing maybe that experience of the spaciousness of your chest cavity, the room for your lungs to breathe. Let's change our mantra, breathing deep and slow. Inhale deep, full lungs. Exhale slow. Inhale deep and slow as you exhale. Letting your whole back body be supported and held. Listen for your breath. Soften your mouth, relax your tongue and your jaw. If there's a particular area in your body that you hold stress, you seem to hold tightness, there's a real guarded area of your body, I want you to, if you can, put your hand on it and soothe that area. Allow it to release by soothing. I say a hand to it, it might be both hands. Both hands are you're using. We're still breathing deep and slow. Inhale deep. Exhale slow. And feel the additional loving compassion you've introduced by bringing your touch to an area of your body that is sensitive. It is guarded. It holds tension. But you're releasing and relaxing into that with loving awareness as you breathe those deep, slow breaths. Relaxing the whole back body. Keeping your eyes closed, can you bring one palm to the heart center and layer your other palm on top of that hand? So both hands are there at the heart center. And just for reflection, I'm going to remind us of the translation of Namaste. I honor the place in you that is the same in me. I honor the place in you where the whole universe resides. I honor the place in you of love, of light, of peace, and of truth. I honor the place in you that is the same in me. There is but one. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out with a sigh. Another breath or two like that, a big breath in and a sigh. Definitely add the sound of the sigh. Introduce movement into your body. Some movement might be really welcome at this time. Follow your body's needs. You know, it's talking to you all the time. And we'll sync up that breath. Inhale, palms together overhead. Look up if that feels good. Exhale, bow at your own heart. Inhale, back up. Exhale, let's share this loving, trusting energy with our community. And we bring our hands to the prayer position. Namaste, my friends. Thanks, everybody.